Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So today we have probably just a bit of a short one today, but some good news nevertheless. Well, at least a bit of positivity, considering recent videos may not have quite been as positive as I would have liked. But Sunderland have finally arranged their first pre-season game of the pre-season. And it's a good job as well, because the season officially kicks off in just over a couple of weeks. So we will be playing this weekend away from home. We're going to Gateshead, just down the road from Sunderland, of course, so it's not too far to travel. It will be a 3 PM kickoff. Sunderland have confirmed that it will not be streamed, but I am led to believe that Gateshead will be streaming the game for as little as £5, which, of course, I'm definitely going to be paying it, 100%. I've missed watching the lads so much, you know, even if it is just behind the screen. I really want to watch them, and it'll be interesting to see how the team play anyway. But we'll have a quick look at what the Sunderland website did say, just to confirm. So, Sunderland AFC will face Gateshead in their first pre-season outing on Saturday the 22nd of August, kick-off 3 PM. Taking place behind closed doors, the fitness building friendly will be played at the Gateshead International Stadium. The fixture will see Phil Parkinson's side play their first game since March, when the 2019-20 season was curtailed, as the Black Cats step up their preparations for the upcoming campaign. In line with the latest advice from the government and the EFL, spectators will not be able to attend this fixture. Whilst we understand supporters' desire to support this team, we ask that all fans respect and follow the safety measures put in place and do not travel to the stadium under any circumstances. Due to protocols put in place by the home club relating to COVID-19, SAFC will be unable to provide a live stream of the game. However, supporters will be able to follow all the action via the club's other digital platforms. So, for me, of course, it looks as though it's quite strange how Sunderland have basically just said that Gateshead, it's their move put in place there, and the protocol not for them to stream. But maybe that is because maybe there's only one area where one sort of crew can stream the game for them, so they won't obviously use their own crew, I don't know, but I am led to believe that Gateshead will be streaming the game. But of course, that's really good. Like I say, we are miles behind in terms of pre-season games. I'm pretty sure we're the only team, or maybe at least one of the only teams in League One that haven't had a pre-season game so far. Because I'm pretty sure I've seen other teams that have already played 2 or 3 games, and we need some kind of competitive game under our belt. Of course, it's only friendlies, so it's not necessarily competitive, but it's an actual game against another team, and we're not just doing it on the training ground against our own players. So, of course, it's a fitness builder, but it's also testing out the players. But the thing is with me, with this game, personally, I would like to see Phil Parkinson put forward our strongest possible side, at least for the majority of the game, the first hour or 70 odd minutes or so, which usually I wouldn't say in pre-season, because usually we have a good 4, 5, 6 pre-season games to test out some of the youngsters, maybe some players who may or may not necessarily be considered first team players, give them a chance. But like I say, the first League One game of the season is on the 12th of September, and a week before that we're playing in the first round of the Carabao Cup against Hull, and sandwiched in between those two we're playing the EFL Trophy, the first game of the EFL Trophy. So in hindsight, really, we only have, you know, just over maybe a couple of weeks until the season does officially start and we start playing proper competitive football. So I think we need to try and find what our best first-strength squad is, rather than testing the waters too much. Of course, I would like to see youngsters get involved, but the first team, or whoever Parkinson does decide to be his strongest starting 11, those lot need to start gelling and practicing together now and getting some games under the belt and some game time, that all-important game time under their belt. Now, of course, we're still looking relatively bare in terms of numbers. Now, I have seen a bit of a mixture of opinions and thoughts on this across social media. Some people think that, you know, with the squad on paper, it looks, you know, it's fine in terms of numbers. Others, you know, including myself, don't think we're looking quite fine right now. Because, you know, on paper, of course, we have some decent quality players amongst our squad. I don't doubt that at all. But in particular, the one example I can give you is I do believe that Parkinson will probably remain with the 3 centre-backs with 2 wing-backs. I think he'll probably remain with that. And if he does, we only have 3 centre-backs, or 3 senior centre-backs, should I say. Maybe Conor McLaughlin, who, you know, I've already made my opinion clear on him, but he has tried coming into that back 3 before, but he isn't an out-and-out centre-back, he's a right-back, or at least he tries to be. But yeah, so we only have really 3 senior centre-backs, and like I say, with our fixture list, particularly for the beginning of the season, is going to be so congested, because all the cup games that were or were due to be played in August, that of course hasn't happened, they're trying to cram it all into September. So even the games that were already in September, cup-wise, are now going to be conjoined with the games that should have been played in August, and crammed all together. So for the first sort of 4 or maybe even 5 weeks of the season, we're going to be playing 3 times a week. Or at least 2 times a week with, Saturday, Tuesday or Wednesday, and then a Saturday again. And that's going to be a consistent thing. And if we don't have the strength in depth, then we're putting players at risk of injury. And plus, we need to rotate anyway. I would like to see that happen. Rotation's key to any successful side. And with the strength in depth that we've got, I don't believe that we can naturally rotate in the way that I personally, anyway, would like to see us rotate. So, of course, we definitely need some bodies in, but not just any bodies. Of course, when I say strength in depth, I mean actual strength being the key word, in depth, not just bringing anybody in. And Philip Parkinson has said in a recent podcast with the Sunderland, the sort of new Sunderland official podcast, it's a decent little listen actually with Danny Collins as well. He was saying that, of course, me personally, I think we came flying out in the transfer window, which is something you don't usually associate with Sunderland after a couple of days of the transfer window opening. We brought back Bailey Wright, which is huge. Then we brought in O'Brien just a few days later. And then, of course, as I was going to mention now with Phil Parkinson in this podcast, once the salary cap come in, a week later, it really hindered things, because on that Friday when it was brought in, he actually believed that there was good 2, maybe even 3 players that were pretty much as close as possible to signing on the dotted line for us. But of course, then the salary cap came in and it introduced different hurdles for us, of course, being wages and what have you. So a good 2 or 3 players could have easily come in on that Friday, but because of the salary caps, they were deterred. Whether they'll actually come back or whether there's still further negotiating with them, that remains to be seen. But of course, with the ownership as well, that's all up in the air. So on the transfer front, we've had dead silence for the last couple of weeks, which is very, very frustrating, of course, because Parkinson did say as well in that podcast that he wants 5 players, which I think that sounds about right. 5 players, but not just only 5 players, 5 quality players throughout the span of the squad I would like to see. Of course, a left back being one of them. Garbo is a player that we've been heavily linked with, and I think the players that Parkinson was referring to in terms of the players that didn't come eventually after the salary cut was put in, I think Garbo was probably one of those. And possibly even Fraser as well, maybe. I'm not too sure, but of course these players are getting interest now from Championship clubs, because they're under no restrictions like we are now. We're obviously forced to use a certain wage budget that's on par with Atkins and Stanley, but I'm not going to get into that again. But it's very frustrating, and I'm sure Phil Parkinson shares those frustrations. But yeah, so all in all, we're playing this weekend finally. What do you guys think about? How would you like to see Phil Parkinson approach this game? Would you like to see a full strength squad? Would you like to see a team full of some of the youngsters as well? Of course, I'd like to see the youngsters myself come out and give them a shot. But at the same time, I want our first strength squad to have gelled and clicked and have those minutes and that fitness built into them before the official league campaign starts. So of course, again, you let me know what you guys think in the description below, in the comments below. But if you have enjoyed this video, please hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sassy Army. But for now, you take care and stay jamming.